go over the essential oils, what they do to you, where, why, how to use them. Is this chick crazy? I mean, possibly. Then I'm gonna go over the yoga and oils and how to incorporate them and why they work, and how aromatherapy affects the body, that kind of stuff, all science. And then I'm going to talk about the options of how people can get these oils if they want them, because it happens, they're asking already. And then the options for you guys if you want your own, so that you can have them as well to incorporate into your own personal practice or ideologies. So to begin, if everybody wants to pull up their first little sheet guy here, and then I included a blank piece of paper in case you want to take notes. These are yours to take, so if you want to write notes on here, you can, but if you're like me and weird and you want a separate piece of paper to note everything, then by all means I invite that for you. So I tossed one on there. And we're just gonna go over essential oils. I'm gonna start basically by saying the modern approach to healthcare right now is designated to manage symptoms. Everything is made from an isolated synthetic agents that all come from something they found in nature, but you cannot patent something that is found in nature. So it has to be synthesized in order to put a patent on it to sell it to make money in a drug company type world. It is a $6.5 trillion a year industry, our health, our prescriptions, our medical. Yet for all of that money, we as a whole, as populations, are getting sicker and not better. Are we any healthier? Not really. Do I say that there is no need for Western medication or doctors? No, that is not my spiel here. Let me tell you how I came into essential oils. I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. I've had cervical cancer twice, once when I was 19. I for sure did chemical, I did radiation and all the things. And then again when I was 35, I chose to do 1 round of chemo and I opted out of the rest of the rounds of chemo and the radiation. I should have done 4 rounds and then gone into radiation if they were to allow me. And I did 1 round of chemo and was like, I can't do this anymore. I was, through holistic measures of the things, starting to turn a corner. The cancer was regulated, but my white blood cell count was depleting. And anyone who kind of knows when your white blood cell count drops below where it needs to be, your organs slowly start to die off. And then you're basically dying. It's just what there is. Going through chemotherapy had shocked something in my system to where I could no longer replicate white blood cells. I was continuing to work. I had 2 jobs. I had no choice. I had to pay for my insurance. Cancer's not covered by insurance, in case you don't know that. You need to have an additional cancer rider. So, FYI, get one. I didn't have one, so I had to continue to work through all of my treatments and therapies. And lovely angel that I worked with at my second job at Fizz, her name is Andrea Pintosi. I met her and she used to always come into work happy, cheery, smelling like oils and sprinkling them around. And I'm like, you please stop. Like, you reek. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of this. But I was also in a different mind space. I was a cocktail waitress in Las Vegas. My life was to drink. My life was to party. And it's literally what I did. And I mean, no wonder I was suffering from cancer a second time. But, you know, what we know now isn't what we knew then. Or some people knew, I didn't know. We're all at different places in our life. And I came in one night and they had to send me home from work because I was pale as a ghost and I could just lean up against the wall. And she's like, I just want you to take 2 things with me. I know you hate the oils. Take this and this. It was clove and frankincense. And she said, please, like, rub them on the bottom of your feet until they're gone every 2 hours. Like, you don't even have to smell them. They're on your feet. And I was like, fine, I'll do whatever you tell me to at this point. And literally I went to see my oncologist at the Comprehensive Cancer Center, Dr. Regan, and 2 weeks later, and she was, oh my God, your blood cell count level has risen by 0.02%. Like, do you know how huge that is? It's such a small number, but like, it's rising. What are you doing? And I was like, nothing, like this. And she's like, I can't tell you what to do with that. All I can tell you is whatever you're doing, keep doing. So I met Andrea the next day and I said, I have $2,000. What do you have for me to treat myself with? Because nothing else is helping. And that is how I drank the Kool-Aid. So how I came into yoga is much like Allison. I was a professional dancer and also a Olympic style competitive gymnast from the time that I was 6 years old. I pre-Olympic trained, qualified, and just made the decision that I didn't want to go to the Caroli Ranch in Texas and leave my mother to go train for the Olympics. It wasn't what I wanted to do, even though I enjoyed gymnastics, so it wasn't on my agenda. However, I continued to do gymnastics. I danced a few years with the Sarasota Ballet. I have a multitude of compound fractures and injuries in my body that were PT'd and done things to, but never actually fixed or corrected. My joints are bad, my ankles are bad, my knees are bad, my hips are bad. All of the things that you get when you tumble on concrete and you dance and you are an athlete. Well, it doesn't really have to be that way now. We know things now that we didn't know then. When they wanted to put a plate in my neck, a metal plate, is when I said, I'm not gonna do that. Because when you start replacing vertebrae with metal, it's just gonna constantly chink, and I'm gonna end up being bionic woman, but not bionic because I'll be in a wheelchair unable to move by the time I'm 65. Like, I'm not cool with any of that. So I found yoga. I healed myself with oils, with yoga. Now don't get me wrong, I did not heal my neck and I'm all better, but I treat them that way instead. It is work to be holistic. It is work. Your body is an amazing piece of machinery that we abuse and use every day. And just like your car, it has to be tuned and worked and all the things. And we know this as yoga instructors and holistic people. Like, it's already something that we're into. So that's why we end up naturally talking about the natural approach to medicine and what is something that you can do, maybe not to replace everything else you're doing, but to incorporate and to be a little more preventative instead of waiting until I have cancer to try and dig myself out of a space. Now, I'm not saying oils are gonna cure everyone of cancer, that's not at all what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, isn't it nice to have access to things that can help you with excess inflammation, chronic pain, all the things I'm gonna talk about and why they work is all scientific, and this can all be researched beyond, and I'm happy to connect you with any of that information after I'm done rambling with our time together. So the natural approach with the essential oils, the whole idea is to address the body's actual needs at the root causes. Basically, when we're talking about something like psoriasis, it's never actually been a disease until now. It's a symptom of a different disease, and doctors in the 60s knew this. This is all new stuff that we're creating in the healthcare so that we have topical creams and things we can treat, even though really where we should be treating everything that is in our gut. And there's a problem in your gut, and your immune system is telling you it's wrong, fix it, by showing you psoriasis. Like, it's just basically your body, so instead of treating psoriasis, treat your gut. So instead of that, we're talking about that. Everything is extracted from plants. Everything is healthy. They enhance your physical well-being, your mental health, and they are safe benefits without side effects. How many times do you watch a commercial on TV that says, oh, if you have heartburn, take this medication, but the side effects are your eyes might fall out and you're gonna bleed from your rectum. Like, no thank you. No thank you, I'm cool on all of that. I'll take the heartburn over a bleeding rectum. Whatever the case may be, like, you can take lemon oil, and lemon oil is, if you take it internally, it's going to start a cleansing function within your body. If there is a congestion in your lymphatic system, it will help actually move those fluids and that congestion through your lymphatic system. Taken in warm water in the morning before you have anything else, that includes your coffee, will start a digestive sludge removal of your kidneys and liver. You detox all evening long through your detox organs, liver, kidney, adrenals, all those things, but you're laying there and there's just like a layer of stuff, you know, that hangs out from you sleeping all night, even when you start that flushing system, because we're overloading our kidneys and bodies with all of these toxins more so than ever before, starts that sludge and just flushes it all the way through your kidneys and just starts that nice drainage system. It's good for edema, which is swelling, which is an accumulation of fluid. So when you take it in the water, it helps hit those cells in those specific natures. And I'll talk about why it works in a minute, but that's what lemon's going to do. So for those of you who have water, I'm gonna bring it around and give you the option to put it in your water. You can put a drop in the tea if you want, but if you're drinking it in a plastic bottle, you'll have to consume it within the next, by the time the workshop's over, because it's so potent, it's going to attack the chemical compound of the plastic and start to break it down. So if you want it, I'm gonna option it to you. I'll sanitize myself before I bring around any of this stuff. Does anybody want some water or lemon in their water droplet? Or in their water bottle?
Lemon in my tea.
Or tea? Okay. Aside from that, when inhaled, and I'm also gonna offer you to take a drop of the lemon in your hand and do the whole inhalation method.
I'll take a little hit.
And then I'll come back around and put it in your hand because it's different. So that brings me to the 3 ways you can enjoy essential oils. Oh, yep, got it. Aromatically.
Thank you.
Oops, you got 2. That's gonna be very lemony. Sorry. Hope you And you're gonna wanna stir it with your finger because it's oil and obviously it's gonna sit right on the top of that water. And actually, I'll give you the lemon aromatically later. So, 3 ways that we do our essential oils: aromatically, topically, and even internally when we're talking about doTERRA, which I'll get to why. So I'm gonna come around with our first smelly oil, which is wild orange. So hand palms out. Wild orange is what we call a Zen oil. Zen oil. So when you're receiving oil in your hand palms, rub your hands together, maybe avoiding your fingertips. Don't get these in your eyeballs. Cup it over your nose and mouth. Give yourself 3 to 5 nice deep inhales. Close your eyes. Wild orange is a Zen oil. So what that means, it's going to match your body's biochemistry and give you what you need. Because a lot of times I tell people this will uplift your mood, it will energize you, it will make you happy. And then I say, but it's also good for insomnia. And they're like, huh? That's because it's one of those oils that if your body needs to rest, it's going to bring you rest. Not in the sense that it's sedative, but in the sense that wild orange calms your nervous system. So if you're stressed out and anxious and can't sleep because you're stressed out and anxious and your mind continuously goes, wild orange will work for insomnia for you because it will shut down that anxious energy feeling and give it a nice calming edge to it, if that makes sense. Essential oils are effective. Why are they effective? Because they are potent. So I'm gonna come around with our second oil that is an awesome mix to the peppermint, which is what we diffuse in the front, which we call a peppermint pick-me-up. It's the mix of wild orange and peppermint. Is because 1 drop of this essential oil, which comes from the skin of the chemical compound of the sac on the plant or on the fruit. So they harvest that whole sac, and 1 drop of this oil is as potent as 28 cups of peppermint tea. So peppermint is a mental stimulant. So by me giving you this, it's a little bit self-indulgent because it's going to increase your alertness, increase your focus. It's going to stimulate neuroresponders in your brain. And it's going to help you with memory retention.
Well, I need a blood.
For me, I'm already pretty revved up as a human being, so that's why mixing peppermint with wild orange is an awesome compliment for me, because then I can get stimulated but not kind of crazy cracked out. So sometimes when I teach classes with peppermint, I'm like, oh, I'm in a peppermint crack, so I got my wild orange on the side so I can bring myself to normality. I mean, you just have to kind of know a little bit about yourself, and the more you use the oils, what works, what doesn't. When you're done utilizing peppermint, you can rub it all over your chest, you can rub it on your towel, you can rub it on your belly, because peppermint is good for digestive issues. So if you have heartburn, if you have angry bellies, if you get bloaty after you eat, if your temperature runs high, so like me, I'm perimenopausal, I have hot flashes at night, so I utilize peppermint on a cold towel before I go to sleep so I can drop my core body temperature. So, as an athlete, if you're taking hot yoga and you have a hard time with the heat, or if you're a runner, you can actually add peppermint to your water. I wouldn't recommend rubbing peppermint on your skin and then going to sweat. It's gonna burn, because it's gonna open your pores and you're gonna sting, but you could ingest it in your water. You could put it in a spray bottle with some water and spritz yourself like I used to do when I worked at the pools so that I could keep my body temperature down. I put it on a cold towel before I go to bed. I don't recommend using it as a fever breaker, because if your body's having a fever, unless it's over 101, then your body needs a fever. but it will break a fever. If you're starting to have a high fever, it will help you keep it down. Like, and again, I have links to all of the science and things that are on our website that utilizes these things. However, I'm going to speak to what we know. Also, it's great for allergies and sinuses. So if there's anybody in here who can never breathe in Las Vegas like me, the mix of lavender, lemon, and peppermint is actually an allergy blend that helps with that, and you can take it internally for you to have no allergies in Las Vegas. If you ever get sick and your sinuses kind of swell and you're trying to blow your nose and you just can never blow your nose or it feels swollen, we have peppermint beadlets that I take, and if anybody wants one to actually put in their mouth, they can. So whenever I get that swelling, because I have sinus issues, because I'm allergic to dust and I live in the desert, hold it up to the roof of your tongue, to the roof of your mouth. Your whole sinuses will open in less than 30 seconds. Anybody want to try one? Yeah. Or if you just want to breathe right now, or if you want open lungs, or any of that. Yeah, because I was like, all 5,000 will come out.
And just hold it on the.
Pop it in your mouth and then hold your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Close your eyes.
I feel like doing this with the mask is dangerous.
Now you can do it.
Want to do it?
No? Oh, I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't care.
Good.
I tested negative. I test every week now.
I was like, I just sanitize my hands before I touch anything different to you guys anyway. Doesn't matter, I'll pop it in. So if you need to be energized, that's another thing you can do is pop one of these guys in your mouth because it's nice and uplifting, energizing. Oh, and I needed that to breathe. So when we have these days out here with rough air quality, peppermint is one that I run to. I'm also asthmatic. My whole life, even through sports, I suffered with asthma, and I suffered with sports-induced asthma and all the things. You can swallow the beadlet, it's just tapioca, but for some reason I never do, I spit it out.
You do?
Yeah, you can totally swallow it, I just don't, because I'm like, oh, it's a thing. So for my asthma, I no longer take inhalers. I had an allergy pill, I had an asthma pill, and I had a steroid inhaler, Advair, that I had to take twice a day. I had a fast-acting inhaler, albuterol, that I had to use in case my lungs still felt tight even though I was taking all of the other things. I had Singulair, which was a pill for the other allergies that attached to the asthma, and then there was another inhaler that was something steroidal, whatever. So my point to that is I no longer take pharmaceuticals every day. I have a myriad of health issues from the chemotherapy at such a young age and radiation that I can talk about things that I've replaced with these oils, but I'm not going to continue to do that over and over. I just wanted to touch one more scientific sense that if you want to do the work and you want to train your body and you want to do the things and this is something that's for you, you can really change someone's life. Like, these things changed my life. And that is why I sit here and I do this. It's not simply because I'm trying to sell y'all oils. It's not what we're doing here. I just want everyone to be educated in the power of the tools that they have at their hands. And when people ask you about it, like, to be able to like share it with them. And if you personally don't want to, then that's great, but at least you can afford them to a space where they can learn about it because it's naturally going to happen. People want it, that's why we're here, because just from my classes, they're asking and it's like, I don't know, and I like to know. So now you can all be educated and empowered and decide what's good for you and what you wanna do in your own life and with your stuff. How do these essential oils work? Under the essential oils and safety, you can see the little cell picture there, right on the front. You see our guy here, right? So essential oils can pass through a cell membrane because a cell membrane is made of oil. And medications are based in water. So that's why a lot of times it was super hard for them to come with antivirals or to treat you when you have a flu or any of the things like that, because a virus is a virus and you can't penetrate a cell. Water and oil do this, just like when you go to an Italian restaurant and you pour the vinegar inside the olive oil, it sits and it doesn't blend together. Well, these essential oils, being the potent compounds that they are, will actually penetrate a cell membrane. So that's what makes these oils in their potency that they're in able to penetrate cells and make a physiological and a mental response, psychological, thank you, response in the body, and you'll feel the effects yourself. That's why I have you smelling the oils and touching the oils and doing the things, so you don't just have to listen to me telling you about it. You can feel it, you can smell it, you can take it in. They're actually super affordable when you work preventatively instead of waiting when you're sick and just trying to pile things on. The healthier you become, the less they cost, because the less you need. It comes to a space like my stomach hurts. Okay, I get diarrhea, I get constipation, I get the runs, I get bloaty. So I have 5 different medications that cost $30 a pop for each one of them, and maybe a few more things for the side effects that come from it, when really I could use literally 1 drop of Digest-Zen mixed with some oil, rub it on my stomach, or a drop of it in my water, which costs 8 cents for 1 drop. And as I said, 1 drop is all you need, because it is the potency of 28 cups of peppermint tea. And you treat yourself when you're in an illness every 4 hours, a drop, drink it, and then the next day you wake up and you're fine. Well, it costs you a couple of bucks. It's not really as much as you think it is when you're thinking about the long term of treating your body and putting stuff in there that actually makes sense for you to take in. Another way, why? doTERRA. Here's why doTERRA. They're most tested, they're most trusted. It's a different standard of quality. So when we talk about essential oils, we talk about synthetics. That's what your Glade plugins, that's your perfumes, the things you spray around the room, your Febrezes. It's actually been proven that these chemical constituents that are in your Glade plugins are linked to causing cancer. It's out there, find the studies, I can link you to them. It's just that nobody cares because there's other things happen. It's just not something we focus on. Just like it wasn't anything, like we didn't focus on baby powder doing things until suddenly it did. So why do we want to continue to breathe that in our homes? So you could easily plug in a diffuser and do all kinds of things in your house. Then you talk about the food grade. Food grade is wintergreen flavored gum, lemon flavored tea. Yes, they're food grade, but but it's usually called grass, which is something that's like, it's like safe to eat, or shoot, I can't even remember how it's done, but it's like butt edible is how it goes. And it's like, well, I don't want to eat things that are butt edible. What do you mean it's butt edible? Why is it butt? Because it's such a low grade that it's like, technically you shouldn't eat it, but it's not gonna kill you right now if you do. Like Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell. And you have your therapeutic grade essential oils, which is what's in your skincare and some of the things. Now, when you're talking about therapeutic grade essential oils, this is gonna be the oils you'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond. You'll go to Whole Foods and you'll get 100% pure lavender. You'll get face wash with 100% pure lavender in it. Okay, well, here's where the FDA comes into play. You are allowed to put something on your shelf that says 100% lavender as long as it's 70% lavender. So I have a lot of people who will come to me and say, oh, I had peppermint oil and I'm allergic to it. And I'm like, well, have you ever been allergic to peppermint before? Well, no. I go, okay, well, where did you get your oil? Whole Foods. Well, a lot of cheaper companies cut peppermint oil with corn oil because it doesn't adulterate the smell, and a ton of people are allergic to corn. It's probably they're eating it and causing all kinds of things to their body that they have no idea to. And she's like, I didn't know I was allergic to corn. I was like, go see your allergy doctor, and I guarantee if you're having trouble eating, notice the next time when you eat corn what it does to your body. You probably have an allergy to it. Same thing. So with lavender, you should be able to ingest it. It is 100% ingestible. I can lick my lavender bottle, but when I go to Whole Foods, if you flip over that bottle, it says do not ingest. Why can I not ingest it if it's lavender oil? Because it only has to be 70% of what they say it is. The other 30% can be filled with whatever they want as long as it's legal.
The
But
lavender oil is 100% lavender oil, but it's mixed with 30, that's how they get away with it.
correct.
They're like,
They
"The
can
lavender
say
oil is
the
100%."
lavender oil, as long as 70% of it is, well, sure, the lavender was 100% pure, and then I put 30% other things in it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. So for
Catchy.
us, with our company, we are certified pure therapeutic grade. What that means is everything is sourced through a third company. or tested through a third company called Source to You. So there's a specific website that has nothing to do with us. No one that doTERRA works with owns it. It's not like that. It is a hired out third company. There is a code on the bottom of every single one of the little bottles, and you can literally type in that code and it will tell you down to the 0.001% of what the chemical constituents are that are in that bottle. Not just that it's frankincense, but what chemical constituents of frankincense are in the baswala. So how much of it is limonene, how much of it is mesarine. So you know if there's even 0.001% of an additive in that bottle, they toss the whole batch. Not even just the bottle, like the whole chemical constituent. Everything that doTERRA harvests is 83% exclusive to doTERRA company. So what that means is we went into regions, say Haiti, which is where all of our wintergreen is produced. This is called co-impact sourcing. So Haiti is where all wintergreen is harvested from. Vetiver is harvested from. Vetiver is one of natural sedative roots. It's used in a lot of oils. How it's harvested is you used to pay high rates for it because these sharks, is what they're called, will go into Haiti and say, I'm gonna pay you $2 a barrel for you to hike up that mountain. It has to be harvested at night, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning with a barrel on your back, and harvest all this vetiver and bring it down, and we're gonna give you $2 a barrel. And when they show up with their barrels, they go, now that you did the work, we're gonna pay you 50 cents for each barrel, and either you can eat it or you can take that money and maybe feed your family. And that's literally how it works all over the world for these herbs, for these perfume factories, for these oil companies, for all of these things that we take onto our body, all the things that are in our hair, showers, all that stuff. And they basically just rob them. So what we did is went in and said, you have all of the amazing vetiver we need. We want you to only sell to us, no longer deal with sharks. So what was happening, I'm sorry, as I skipped, is what was happening is they were starting to fill these barrels with rocks and all. They weren't taking the care to harvest the vetiver that they should, so things were getting broken, things were getting smashed and macerated, and it was rocks. And so you're paying more and more and you're getting less and less. Whereas we say, we want you to take the care. They're gonna pay you $10 a bushel for your bucket instead, but we want you to spend longer time up there cutting the stuff properly, doing it more days. We're gonna help you with a profit of every dollar that comes off of every bottle goes directly to each of those countries all over the world where we harvest our things in their indigenous habitats, and we give $1 of that to go to build them schools, wells. They do girls' days where they go into countries where women are afraid of their periods and teach them that that is not how you should. You don't have to sit in a rock or tents, and like, this is just philanthropy things, but it's nice to be a part of a company that actually cares. And that's the point. They don't just care about us and our health with the oils and how pure it is. They care about people around the world. So when we go in and we're doing lavender in Bulgaria, we're going in to cities in Bulgaria that are impoverished, that cannot afford to feed themselves, their children don't go to school, they work, and we're saying your children stop working, they go to school, we'll build the schools based on the profits from your oils, and we'll pay you a fair wage. So because of that, 83% of the things that we get from around the world is all exclusive to doTERRA company. And as people who are into science and biology know, where an herb grows or a tree or a plant grows, habitat, normally its indigenous habitat, is where you get the most medicinal benefit from it, where it's the most active components, because the soil, the air, all of the things, they all matter, just like they do with us in our human bodies. And that's why doTERRA, because everything is third-party tested, everything in these are beyond organic, because I have people who ask that a lot. Are they organic? No, they're not organic, because we don't take a certification from the FDA, because in order to do that, we have to do certain things to be additives in order to make them less potent, in case somebody decides to drink an entire bottle of oregano and ODs on it. So instead, we don't go for FDA approval. We consider ourselves beyond organic because there's absolutely zero things to test for in these bottles, and you can look it up and you can try it. So we talked a little bit about the 3 ways that you can do oils: aromatic, topical, internal. When you rub these oils on your body, depending upon which body system it is that you're trying to treat, you can go directly to that body system. Like for me, I like to apply frankincense under my tongue, around the back of my neck. Why? Because that's where all of your occipital nerves from your brain, or that's your occipital triangle, where all the nerves from your brain meet. And frankincense is one of the few things in the world that passes the blood-brain barrier, which means it can actually do things within the chemistry of your brain. Science is literally researching all of it. They're trying to use it to cure cancer. They're using it for Alzheimer's. They're using it for all the things, but they're synthesizing it and trying to patent it. So, you know, what it'll end up with when they're done, I don't know. So, you can put it on your body on the bottom of your feet like I did, and literally it is within every cell of your body within 30 seconds because your body carries it out, carries it through. It's a natural substance. You can take them internal. Not all oils are internal. Anything with a pine needle, any of the proprietary blends you can't take inside, so obviously read your bottle. It'll tell you not for internal use. But most of them are perfectly safe to take internally. I have oil regime that I take every day, my frankincense, my lemon oil, or well, I've swapped citruses depending upon what it is in my body that I'm feeling. I take those 3 times a day in my water. And then I have oil pills, capsules that I make if I'm sick that I treat and those types of things. So you can use it under your tongue, you can make them in capsules. So one of the oils I take every day, On Guard. On Guard is our proprietary protection blend. The protection blend is a powerful immune system boost. It is made of chemical constituents that boost your immune system. The hand sanitizing spray is all natural and it is 99.9% effective, just like Lysol and all the other things, and the FDA approved it, so we can say that it works just like anything else without being full of all the things. Like me, I smell rubbing alcohol or bleach and I'll instantly go into an asthma attack. So when I clean things, I'm like, and then I dissipate, or I'm careful to cover my face, or I use my On Guard. So doTERRA has an entire line of On Guard crap. I didn't bring it because it doesn't pertain to yoga, but that's what I do in my home because I cannot have those chemical things for me. They make me sick. I clean it all with these types of things. It supports healthy respiratory function. It's what we're diffusing in here. Breathe and On Guard. The two together are a chemical powerhouse for you if you have asthma. On Guard will help diffuse any bacteria, viruses in your air. If your house is stinky from odors, and you, like, if you cook and you have smells in your air and you want to take them out, you can diffuse On Guard. And it's not like spraying Febreze through your air. It will actually clean the bacteria and virus from the air. Bless you. It is a combo. This is one that you can take internally, even though it's a blend. Clove, wild orange, cinnamon, a little bit of frankincense. I take this in a beadlet every single day because I am immune compromised. And this literally helps keep me healthy. I was one of those people who spent literally a week out of every month in the hospital because I had some sort of bronchitis infection or respiratory or sinus or something. It's been like 4 years since I've been to a doctor for something like that. And I use this stuff. So when my throat starts to get sore from breathing in the dust outside, I have On Guard beadlets. Another one of the things that I pop in my mouth, I also, because of some of my white blood cell responses, my lymph nodes here swell on the regular because my lymph system's a little destroyed. I pop one of these, I swallow it, I let it spicy up the back of my throat for about 30 seconds. I rinse it down, and the swelling in my lymph nodes will go down in about 30 minutes, and all the sore from my throat is gone. So when I had strep throat, this was bomb. I mean, it was a long time ago, but when I did have it, like, I was swallowing these things like they were water because this is the only thing that would take the sting out of my throat. And they're natural, and it's safe, so I can have it. Now, if you're going to take oils internally at this type of strength, I wouldn't recommend popping beadlets every day, every hour. Like, you don't want to overdo things. Again, it's always safety and moderation, right? Just like with everything else in life. But sore throat, pop it. Do I swallow one of these every day? Yeah, I do, because I'm immune compromised. Or if there's a day I don't want to swallow it, I have oil rollers that I roll that has oregano, which is a natural antibacterial, with the On Guard, and again, getting into much deeper chemistry than you guys need to know. But I'm just saying it's an option. Does anyone want to also try a poppy?
I want to try one.
Try a spicy pepper?
Oh, yeah. I've had weird throat stuff in my life. This is fascinating to me. I had weird abscesses, the only time I've ever been hospitalized, and it was from like a really bad strep infection. Oh. So, wait,
Pop it in your mouth,
okay, under the tongue?
doesn't matter, pop it with your teeth, and then swallow it. Beadlet and oil and all. Anybody else want one?
Sure.
I wasn't paying attention when I had my head down. I asked and I didn't look for answers. Yeah, I don't want more than one, cause they're spicy. Uh-oh.
It's like so seasonal smelling too.
Isn't it?
It is, it's
I'm
super
not-
fall. I burn this in my house anyway, just because of the fall.
Yeah. Fall,
Do you want me
winter.
to take that other one?
Do you want it?
I don't care.
I don't either. I just popped one in
I'm
my mouth
screwed.
though.
I'm
I'm like,
around.
I just popped one in my mouth already,
People
so.
breathe on me
I
all
mean,
the time. I'm
technically it's
screwed.
antibacterial, so
There you go.
cross-contamination's not possible if you're popping it, but it's I leave that up to other people. So yeah, pop it in your mouth if you wanna feel the spicy in the back of your throat. Like with your teeth, you can just, do you want one? No.
Wait, and then what do you do?
And then
Okay.
swallow it and let it sit there for like 30 seconds and just, you can like feel it.
Ah.
Like I have ear issues that cause throat issues and that's another reason these swell and I can almost instantly feel like the stuff draining from the ears when I pop them, like, it's good stuff, man.
What are the oils in it?
It is wild orange, cinnamon, clove, rosemary, what else is in there? It's more than that. Eucalyptus, and a little bit of peppermint.
Ooh, and that's the On Guard?
That's the On Guard.
Cool.
And the On Guard oil can be diffused or topicalized. This guy can be put internally. You can drop the On Guard oil in your coffee. I do that sometimes too if I'm just like having a mouth day because I have a whole bridge in my mouth, so I have mouth issues too. So sometimes I'll just put the On Guard in my coffee. There's On Guard mouthwash, On Guard toothpaste, like it goes on and on. But it's all antibacterial, antiviral, so it's good for you to keep yourself nice and clean and immune system boosted, and that's what everybody's all worried about these days is how do I not get sick? Boost your immune system. Keep yourself clean. That's it. I mean, it's not it, but it's what you can do. Let me reiterate that slightly. So what I use with the On Guard is breathe. Breathe is your proprietary respiratory blend. It's going to open up your airways. It's one of the things I just use at night because it is going to be amazing for restful sleep. If you sleep but you don't sleep well, it could be a breathing issue. If you snore, it will help open your airways and it can stop people from snoring. I diffuse it at night because my dog and my husband both snore. That's why I diffuse the breathe. I'm the lightest sleeper in the world. Like you make a peep, my dog's snoring, yes, it bothers me. It's just the cutest little, but I'm like, So one of the things I diffuse is the breathe because it keeps my airways open, the dog's airways open, my husband's airways open. It's a nice restful sleep. Otherwise he flops around like a fish in bed too and I can't take it. But I love him so much. It helps you just maintain that feeling of easy breathing while you're sleeping. So you're not getting that excess anxiety of when you're waking up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, you're not sure why. Could just be breathing. It's also good for, it's one of the things I use for my asthma. Like I said, the On Guard and the Breathe, I have that also in a roller with frankincense. And that's one of the things that I use instead of an inhaler type deal. Does everybody's hands come up? Because they're gonna get some breathe, and then I'll move on to the digestion. I'll start moving a little quicker. I'm yapping a lot. And we'll be here forever. Get all oil jazzed up. And again, when you're done with taking in your breathe, you can rub this guy on your chest, you can rub it on your upper back where your lung lobes are. Or you can rub it on your tail. Or you can swipe it on the sides of your sinuses if you wanna breathe.
I like on the mask.
I do, I sprayed it, I have one that I spray in my mask. I breathe in, water, distilled water, and I spritz my mask through it
Oh, I
just so
like
I
that.
can breathe when I'm in here sometimes.
Is there's something woody in there? It smells like it. Do you know?
It's got Ravensara in it, it's got frankincense in it, there's spruce, there's a lot of woody in it actually.
Yeah.
There's peppermint, eucalyptus, laurel leaf, melaleuca, lemon, cardamom, all the smell things.
Everything.
All of the things to smell. Because I didn't give myself a hit of that and I want it. Do you wanna hit a breathe cake?
Oh, yeah? Gonna have to ask me twice. Gonna have to dip early.
I know, I'm yapping, you don't. You know most of these things. DigestZen, it's your digestive blend. It is a proprietary mix of oils to maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract. I use it every morning with a wild orange. I have it in a roller and I do that to be preventative, so all of the things that happen in my stomach don't start happening. Sometimes they will anyway, and then you up the ante, or I'll take it internally. They also make pills and supplements and all the things. If you don't wanna mix oils or take oils, they do them in pills for you. It basically will help reduce bloating or gas, so if you eat and your stomach has bubble guts, like when I was on vacation in Mexico for my birthday and I ate some things from the all-inclusive buffet and I was like, oh, Jesus, help me. I went home, I was like, thank God I brought my DigestZen. It had coconut oil in it because it was the roller, and I was like, I don't care, I'm drinking it. And I drank some of it and I was like, oh, thank you so much. The next morning I was feeling so much better. But basically it's for the easing of feelings of stomach upset. It has fennel, it has anise, it has all of the natural things that are going to help soothe your tummy. So you can rub it on there or you can take it internally. They even make chewable tabs that are supposed to be like Tums, but they're made out of DigestZen, so they're better for you because it's not all chalk and crap. It's got peppermint in it, which as I said before was a stomach soothing oil. And what else does it have in it besides that? Peppermint, ginger, caraway seed, coriander, tarragon, and like I said, fennel. Hand sanitizer. This one's an interesting smell. You can sniff your tea if your nose buds are getting kind of stuffy. If you need a tea refill, let me know. It's not coffee, but it does the same thing where it cleanses your palate. But these things are pretty potent. When you're done with your DigestZen, if you want to rub it on your belly, by all means do so. Even if you don't have an upset stomach, it's still going to be full of things that in Ayurvedic medicine help soothe the lining of your guts. So the caraway
Oh, yeah,
oil,
that is
all, yeah, it's that anise and the fennel.
When you were reading all the ingredients, I thought of khichdi.
What's that?
It's a Ayurvedic dish with lentils.
Oh,
and
I just
rice.
don't say it right, okay. I was like, oh, I'm not saying that right then. I call it kitchtari.
That's like all we ate at yoga teacher training,
And it has
fortunately, I
all-
loved it. Yeah, but it smells like very similar, except for the hay, which smells like garbage
Coffee tea.
sometimes. Thank you so much. That's good. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Hopefully you're still helpful, my Halloween candy.
Did anyone need a
digest.
little top? Who cut
Yeah.
it out? You did, Jillian, sorry. I heard and I didn't see where. Cause I didn't wanna spill it on your wood floor.
So if you get like.
It's not the
PMS
nicest thing
bloating,
for season.
would you use this as well?
I'm sorry, what?
If you get PMS bloating?
Yes.
Yeah.
I use DigestZen. I also use, they actually have a blend for women's bloating. It's called ClariCalm. So it helps with the hormone balancing, the hot flashes, and the yucky belly bloat.
Mhm.
And then I use past tense because cramps are real in my life. Did you already get? Cause they're not just PMS, it's PTSD, so I get like debilitating like cramps. It'll help with the nausea feelings.
Yeah.
And with the temperature craziness, if you get that, cause it's got the peppermint in it.
Yeah, my second child really threw my entire system for a loop. Like, I now have an oat allergy. Never been allergic to anything in my life. My hands will break out if I eat too much oats. Like, I used to never really bloat when I had my period. Now I can tell like 3 or 4 days out, I start bloating. I'm like, great, thanks.
Well, while I never had a child, those are actual symptoms that I get through my period, and I found out that one of the reasons that which can all be drawn back to your oats, think it's an overload of candida in your system. Us women here in Las Vegas, because we don't experience an actual 3-month extreme cold, which is considered anything under 30 degrees or in freezing temperature for at least 3 months out of the year, we all have an overgrowth of candida in our bodies because it never dies off. In places like Buffalo, eventually it dies because everything outside is dead because it's frozen. Same thing with your candida. But here we just continuously feed it, especially if you eat breads, carbs, oats, wheats, rice, even some of the good rice will all feed that candida. And even though you're not seeing UTIs or urinary tract infections from it, your body is purging it in other ways, which is an allergy to oat. I don't want any more oats in my body, it's gonna feed the candida. I'm just suggesting that for your brain, that might actually help you, because it'll also help. It affects your cortisol hormones and how it's functioned and how it's held in your body when the cortisol is released. So it can give all this too. So it's like when you're losing weight in some places or other places, or you're working really hard and nothing's happening, it's because the candida is holding on to all of that in your body and just creating this leftover like stuff that it just wants to hold on to, and your body can't let it go. So if you start flushing candida, you might be able to see other things in your body that switch back for you. Only because you weren't allergic to it before is why I mentioned that. If you had always been allergic to it, then you might just be allergic to oats.
So bad.
But I'm just saying, hands sweating a lot, sometimes you're cold. A lot of that can be from like trying to cut down some candida in your body. Back to my rule, past tense. This is one that I used during the period, but it's actually the tension blend. The tension blend is amazing for headaches, migraines, sore muscles, pain. It comes in a roller just like this. You can put it on your temples, back of your neck. It's also amazing for pick-me-up just because of the things it has in it, where it's like, but being in the physical realm that we're in, this is one of the oils people tend to be drawn to a lot. You can rub this one on the back of your neck if you want when you're done taking it in, or anywhere else you're feeling sore, your knees. This is the one that I use for my cramps when I'm having my period.
Yeah, where do you put it, like, just like here?
I rub it on my lower abdomen,
Yes.
and then after I rub it on my lower abdomen, I put a drop of it in the cotton liner on panties.
Oh.
Because sometimes you get the throb from down below, it ain't your lower abdomen, it's like from under. I put it in my cotton panty liner and I just wear it, because I'm like, yes. And then Deep Blue goes on the lower back because it's a whole different kind of pain and muscle reliever than this one is. This one has cilantro and all kinds of crazy things that you have no idea actually worked for pain in it, but they do. Cilantro is amazing for pain. Past tense just helps release feeling of discomfort. Where'd you go? Thank you. It ran away from me. Melaleuca. Melaleuca is tea tree oil. That's just Melaleuca is its chemical constituent name. We changed it on our bottles to be tea tree because people kept going, it's tea tree oil, so now it's tea tree oil. It's basically a natural disinfectant. Think of an all-natural Neosporin. Whatever you would use chemically filled Neosporin for, you could put Melaleuca on and use it for that. It's one of the things that I use to clean my homes with because it's a natural antiviral. It is how I treat my cold sores and fever blisters, which is a nervous issue, which is a viral issue, and they have very few medications that even work for it. You get one and they start festering all over your face and they're like, go to the store and get some Abreva and hope it works. I have friends who will take bleach on Q-tips and press it into their fever blisters. Like, oh my God, no.
Oh my God.
I have, no. But when you get them and they hurt so bad and they're just spreading, like you're like, whatever, just put it on my face, get it done. They put hydrogen peroxide on them. My God, never put hydrogen peroxide on an open wound. It kills your cells. It kills the cells. So now the skin can't heal and you just dumped it all over your face. Like, you're gonna scar like crazy. Melaleuca. Like, I have it in a roll-on. I have it with Melissa, which is lemon balm, and I just roll it like all over myself, wherever if I feel what you feel the itch. If you get them, you know what I'm talking about. You feel the itch, and I'm just like, no. Take the Melissa internally, and it will stop it right in its tracks. Boost your immune system. One of the things you can put on psoriasis if you are having a psoriasis outbreak, you mix it with lavender, and it's super soothing for that. They make a Serenity bath bar that has it already in it, and you can utilize it in the bath for your psoriasis. What else for Melaleuca? I mean, they all do 1,000 things, so let's smell our amazing Melaleuca. Because it's an antiviral, you can rub this on the bottom of the feet when you're done with it. You can rub it on the back of your neck if you want. Yep, no worries. Sniff your tea. Usually it doesn't go this fast, but. Melaleuca, tea tree. And you have to listen to your body when it comes to oils. So if smelling all the scents are starting to give you headaches, then don't smell all the scents. Listen to the science. It's entirely up to you. We only have a few more to go. And then I'll just talk a little bit about the yoga portion of it, and then that's what we're here for. Lavender, this is everyone's favorite anyway. So, lavender is basically the oil of calm. It is anything calming. Do you want your skin soothed? Yes. Are you anxious? Lavender. Do you need to sleep or calm down? Lavender. It is a natural antihistamine. So if you have bug bites, or weird things that bit you, like in Mexico, you can rub lavender on them and they stop itching. It will, burns, you burn yourself and you don't want a scar. If you get lavender on it immediately with the coconut oil and continue to apply it, it will actually help the skin regenerate and soothe from burning. What else? Yeah, so even if you get sunburns, you can apply lavender with the coconut oil on your sunburns and it helps alleviate the sting and it helps take that away, the sunburn quicker, it heals it quicker, and basically it's something you can use for sleep. It is the basic and easiest one to turn to when you want to be calm or you want to sleep. Serenity is the one that I actually use for sleep because my husband works in the nightlife. I'm a light sleeper. He doesn't sleep well. Serenity is more of a sedative. It is the restful sleep blend. Everyone knows what lavender smells like, so I'm not bringing that around. Everybody's getting overwhelmed because it's so fast and smelly. It's because it's so fast and smelly, and I want you to smell the Serenity because you'll see how it's different from lavender. So basically it's lavender on crack. For people who need to like really rest or sleep. It is one of the things with the Breathe that I dilute at night and diffuse so that we can sleep. Serenity is something that's going to help you fall asleep because it has vetiver in it. Vetiver is a natural sedative. So it's literally going to help put you to sleep. Another awesome thing is vetiver if you are a teeth grinder in your sleep, like I've been told from my husband I am. Yep, that's fine. You can put it on your jawline. So I have a roller on my nightstand and I roll it on my jawline before I go to sleep because I have ground through 2 medical mouth guards that they've given me to sleep in. Because I have a bridge, so it's metal. So it's gonna grind through anything plastic you give me to put in my mouth. But if I use the vetiver, I don't grind.
Did you already mention what's in this besides lavender and vetiver?
No, I didn't.
They missed
I have to
it.
read the, I was like, I gotta read the bottle on this
I
one,
didn't
because I
know
don't
if I
have that
missed it.
memorized. Let me see. Cedarwood, hoe wood, ylang ylang, marjoram, which is amazing for pain. It's part of my chronic pain blend. Roman chamomile and vanilla. That's possibly what you're smelling, the undertones of vanilla too, because women always love vanilla. Right? Besides from being restful sleep, it actually lessens feelings of tensions and diffuses stress because it actually, the hoe wood actually helps decrease levels of cortisol that are stored in your body. So sometimes you trap cortisol in your body and that's the stress hormone, and that stress hormone is one that can help you gain weight or deplete your immune system. The hoe wood in here actually helps your cells purge it so that you can get rid of it. So you're not holding on to it and storing it. This one I don't usually talk about, but I'm going to because people were drawn to it when I used it in class, and no one sleeps. It's Console. It's from the emotional therapy line. There is actual emotional lines that are blended specifically for emotional things. So depending upon which body system you're choosing and what it is that you're utilizing the oils for, you can go emotional if you want to. I put Console in my sleep, and that sleep blend with the Serenity and the Breathe, and that's why I'm touching on it, because when I have people do that, when they're people who cannot sleep for whatever reason their sleep problem is, they say, I need that. I want that in my house because I can't sleep. So, and the console makes all the difference, because a lot of times you're struggling with things that you're not dealing with in an emotional level. And then the console helps you tap into that because it's blended specifically for that, so that you can have a restful sleep instead of nightmaring and fishing around and all of the things. I'm gonna let those who wanna smell this one smell it because it's super strong and potent. It has patchouli in it. You're gonna smell it and ask me what's that smell. That's what it is.
What if those people, I don't know.
I do too. I always hated patchouli until I smelt real patchouli. Cause what you smell on people when they're walking around on it does not
It's
smell
the
the same as
synthetic, it's the
patchouli.
dirty hippie stuff.
It smells like Draco Noir is what I always tell people. I'm like, it smells like that Draco Noir. This does not. It smells like real patchouli.
Or like the
Yeah.
first smoke shop you ever walked into.
From like 1920. No, it's not
Yeah,
like
right.
that though. This one smells so good. The patchouli from doTERRA, the straight patchouli. It does. But it's in a lot of the blends because it actually physiologically does a lot of things within the body. Emotionally. So it's used in a lot of the emotional blends, and that's why I just touched on that one for a second. Okay, and I want you to smell it. Frankincense, the king of oils. Oops, I've been turning all my bottles around, so now I can't see where is my frankincense. There he is. Oh yeah. I told you I wasn't kidding when it was gonna take, told you it was gonna take at least 2 hours.
I thought you
Frankincense.
said 90 minutes.
Frankincense.
Everyone's gonna kill me.
Frankincense supports healthy cellular function because it's one of the things that can pass your blood-brain barrier when taken internally or topically. It can actually help healthy cell proliferation in your body. And what that is when your cells turn over. A cell should either live or it should die. It should never be mutated in your body. When it doesn't live or die, then it sits there, and that's when we get chronic disease, diabetes, cancer, all of the things that are chronic. Frankincense goes into your body, into your cells, and it says, when it hits that cell, are you alive or are you dead? And if it's alive, or if it's repairable, it actually helps repair that cell so that it can stay unimperviated by chronic disease, or it will kill the cell so that it cannot sit there and collect chronic disease. That is scientific. It's why they're using it to treat cancer. It promotes that healthy cell proliferation within your body. And obviously, if you're like broken in other spaces, I'm not saying frankincense is gonna heal you from cancer. Please don't take it to that depth. What I'm saying is to be preventative, or if you're in a space where you just need your body, it's going to help your body do what your body already does, heal itself. It's just gonna support those functions. It's amazingly mood balancing. If you have ADHD, it is amazingly focusing. It is an amplifier oil. You can add it to any other oil that you're utilizing, and it will help amplify the medicinal properties of that oil, which is why I put it in my asthma blend and my chronic pain blend and all of the things, because it boosts everything that it touches, because it passes your blood-brain barrier. If you want to smell some frankincense, this is one of the expensive ones, so feel free to hit it now while you can. I don't share this in class very often unless it's Christmas and Easter.
It is Christmas.
I know! Yeah, I was gonna skip you. Saw that, right? It was an accident. But it just smells like so good, and to take a hit of this, it's almost like instantly anxiety reducing, stress reducing. You're just like, and when you're done, you can massage this into your face. It's good for wrinkles. It's good for aging because it does. Right? Everybody went to rub it on their, see, everybody went to rub it on their towels, and they were like, wait. Yeah, I thought so. Put it on your face.
None of us in here have.
If you have chronic pain, nobody needs it. Hey man, that's why I'm 44. I'm telling you, I ferment myself in frankincense.
There you go.
When it comes to healthy cell proliferation in your body, you can't be too careful. It's one of the highest anti-inflammatory substances on the planet. So if you suffer from arthritis, those types of things, that is a buildup of inflammation in your joints. Taking frankincense internally or rubbing it on your hands for treatment is going to help reduce inflammation, therefore it is going to reduce your chronic pain and make you feel better. We talked about lemon naturally cleansing the body. Ooh, okay, this is the end, I swear. And the only reason I talk about this is because we are in a space of a yoga studio. People are going to come here because they feel like they're around like-minded people. People who are interested in their health are obviously seekers for things that they can do to make their lives better, so that they can feel better, so they can be vegan, so they can not take that medication, so they can turn to yoga instead of this. They're seekers. They're looking for something holistic. They're happy to listen. The reason I'm sharing this part with you, because it doesn't have anything to do with yoga, is because you're all instructors who believe in actual wellness and a foundation of wellness. The foundation of wellness starts with proper nutrition in your body. The food that we eat is basically garbage. We all know this once you cook it. If you're not eating raw, live, organic food every serving of the day, you are not getting the nutrients in your body that your body needs to do the things that your body does. Make the mitochondria, go in and keep the mitochondria healthy, which has the antioxidants to help you get rid of the free radicals, which are the things that destroy your cells that make you sick. Basically, how do you do that? Get all the proper nutrients. Our pills that you take in the store, the supplements, they're chalk pills. You take it and you can drop it in white vinegar, which mimics your stomach acid, and if it doesn't dissolve in 5 minutes, your body's not getting any of those nutrients at all. You're basically just spending an hour of your body's energy breaking down the chalk pill that you swallowed, and you're absorbing 0 of it. So how I started when I first wanted to turn my life around was lifelong vitality. When I say it was life-changing, that is the part I'm talking about, because it allows me to live every day to where I am not sick, where I can wake up and not be, oh God, now I have to go throw up, and then I can get myself in the shower, and then I can get ready for the day so that I can try to function. That's how day was. Or I would be in the hospital. I need to go get some prescriptions. I need to do this because I'm sick. I work in the health, and I worked in the industry of nightlife, where I was constantly getting other people's crap because I was immune deficient. I started taking lifelong vitality, and 2 months later is when all of my stuff changed for me, and I no longer, I notice if I don't take those for 3 days, I'll start to get run down. They're by the company backed with a 30-day money back guarantee that says if you don't feel better, if you don't have more energy, less chronic pain, then we'll give you your money back. And I only mention that so that you have access to it. If you as people want to have questions about any of the supplements and how they work for the fish oils that you don't burp up and all that stuff, then we can talk about that if you wanted to do your own stuff for your own personal love. And that's it. Let's talk about yoga, Miles.